Hello, Flosstubers. This is Karen, Prom Queen Stitcher, and I'm back after a long absence. I think my last one was in April. It's just been a while, and I can't really tell you why because the time just seems to go by so quickly. Um, I wanted to let you know that it's Happy July. I did this a while back, and it's by Hands On Design. And this makes me think of July and all the barbecuing and the hot weather and so on. And boy, have we had it hot. I think we're going on probably close to 2 weeks in a row with temperatures well over 100. So not as bad as Phoenix, it could be worse, but Bakersfield still gets pretty warm in the summertime. Um, about that 65th birthday I just had, I'm full on qualified for Medicare now, and I guess there are some good things about that. I, you know, it'll be a little help in terms of health insurance and full-fledged senior citizen status. The one bummer is that, of course, the body with osteoarthritis is really starting to progress, and I've noticed that my hands are getting a lot worse than they ever have been before, especially this right one, which of course I'm right-handed. And so I haven't been able to stitch nearly as much as I would like to. But I'm hoping to possibly get some injections. My cousin was telling me about some that she had gotten that it had improved matters tremendously, and so I'm hoping to do that. I also found out that I have gout, which definitely sounds like an old person's disease, but it could be so much worse, you guys. I'm still able to walk and do all those things, although I don't set any land speed records when I do, but I can still at least hobble along. So anyway, my cousin sent me this really cool birthday card in honor of my 65th birthday, my cousin Rudy. I thought that was really very, very cool, very appropriate for summertime. So let's talk about some of the things that I'm all into these days. Well, Starbucks has long been a favorite of mine. I don't go every day, but pretty darn close. And I've even found that because I'm there so much, they even know my drink. I pull up into the drive-thru and get a couple words out, and they're like, "Oh, hi, Karen. Do you want your chai tea latte? And what about your venti ice water?" And so that it's always nice. It's like going into Cheers. It's you're where people know you, and it's not bad at all. And those baristas, they work their butts off, and so I always make sure that I give them a nice tip. Even at Christmas time, I either give them a plate of really good cookies, or I give them a whopper of a tip to let them know that I'm grateful for all that they do. And one thing that they will do for me, which I very much appreciate, having trouble getting jars and things open. So if I go through the drive-thru to get something to drink, if I ask nicely and ask them to open something up, those youngsters, they open it right up. They're just so sweet. I found that if I'm respectful and nice to them, it's amazing, as well as everybody else in my world. It's amazing, how well people treat you. My other thing that I'm all into, I love Sonic, love their crushed ice, and I usually get unsweetened iced tea. Can't stand the sweet stuff, so unsweetened works for me because it quenches my thirst just like water does. And the other little thing that I've discovered via a friend of mine, she told me about their pickle juice slushies, and actually, even though they don't sound good, they really are good. And they're a little sour and a little sweet, and it goes back and forth. And I think they're a summer promotional, and so I've been doing those this summer too, just for a change of pace. The other thing that I'm all into, I just completed on Netflix the series Madam Secretary. I've watched it through the years, but I never saw it from start to finish. And so this time around, I started with the pilot and went all the way through the 4 seasons. And I'm amazed by that because it seems very reflective of our current world. And their plot lines are things that conceivably could happen or may have happened. So anyway, I'm looking forward to their fifth episode, or their 5th season coming out this year with the new episodes. Okay, where there's sun, there's got to be a little bit of rain, and to offset being Pollyanna here, I did have to tell you about one of my pet peeves, and it seems like it's getting worse as I'm having trouble with the strength in my hands. Sometimes I'll buy something, like I bought a Venus razor, and it had cartridges in it as well as the razor. I could not get into that thing for love nor money. It was in a clamshell container, and yeah, you use the scissors. The good news is that opens up the plastic, but the bad news is that plastic is about as sharp as can be, and I'm really concerned with getting stabbed by it. And I could not get those razor blades, or their cartridges actually, out of that container for anything. And so finally I had to put it down, and then later on I went back to it and I was able to do it. But I think they're very dangerous. And a friend of mine, Lisa, whom I met at the Shepherd's Bush retreat, and I've stitching retreat a couple years ago, and I've stayed in touch with, she's a nurse, and she tells me that in the OR all the time people come in with cuts from that stupid clamshell plastic. And I understand that for loss prevention, they have to keep their products, so that it's not so easy to steal and to shoplift and so on. But you guys, give us a break here. If you need to put them all in Fort Knox, and we'll come and buy them from there, that's fine. But man, oh man, just a killer. And a friend gave me a couple of like what are they called? Like scent things that have the bamboo sticks out of them. What are they called? I can't even remember what the name is. We used to sell them at Hallmark too, but they kind of look like this, and they're in that plastic too, and so I'm kind of messing with it, trying to get it open, and I'm thinking, I'm not that uncoordinated, am I? But maybe I am. Okay, now let's move along. Now that I've griped about that enough, let's talk about stitching. Because of the issue with my hand, I definitely have pulled off a stitching this summer, which is really unfortunate because I miss it. And as grumpy as I'm sounding, maybe I better get back into it because it's really, really good in terms of keeping your brain happy and so on. But before I started having major problems with this finger, I did get a few things done, or they're pretty close to being finished. This is one of them. It's by Hindsight, and there's a little charm that goes on it too. That's a little coffee mill, and it's really, really cute. So that one's done. It just needs to be fully finished. I did get this one done. This is by what is the name of that? Anyway, the mother-daughter combo. That we're all doing their stuff and so on, and this is the cocoa one, and I did get that stitched, and now it just needs to be finished. And I did it on large count linen because I was finding that it's just so much more pleasing to me to not have to worry about making mistakes on linen that's too fine, and this stuff really goes fast. I think I used 4-ply DMC on it, and I just thought it turned out so cute. So it's something that'll need to be fully finished as well. This little guy is almost finished, and it's supposed to have some snowflake charms up above where those 2 other snowflakes are up there, and so I think I got a couple of snowflake buttons or charms at Michael's that I'm just going to use for that. And then I have these itty bitty buttons that I'm going to use for his little eyes, and also for the buttons that go down the front of his tummy. And so there's not much at all to have that be fully finished, or yeah, fully finished, and then it'll need to be FFO'd. And then this Silver Bells one from Hands On Design, I got the stitching all done, and then I bought these little silver bells that I'm going to put at the end of the burgundy, ribbons that are hanging down. And I think that'll look really nice. It'll add a dimension to it that'll make it really cute to have an ornament made out of it. And then I also got this one done too, the peppermint one done, and I thought it turned out really, really cute as well. And I think it's on 28 count, and it actually turned out okay. And the actual chart shows a little, just another Button Company candy cane like right here, but I don't think I'm going to add it. I think it's fine. It stands well just as it is. So those are some things that I did get done before I started having a lot of trouble with my gout. I have a couple of, or I have a work in progress. It's by Little House Needleworks, and that's the name of the mother-daughter team I was trying to think of. This in CCN. So this is the baked goods, and here's my start on it. And once again, I'm using that larger count linen, and I think it's turning out very, very cute. And I'm just I'm playing with it. I think it showed that they were Weeks Dye Works or General Arts sampler threads, and I just did DMC. I'm just kind of playing around with it. I got my color card out and kind of compared it, because as several other people have talked about, why should I pull out and use my fancy floss when the variegation isn't going to show very much? On a large area, like a house or a roof or something, that makes total sense that I would do it for that. Now, I have some FWIPS, as Anita and Holly have said. Those are future works in progress. In other words, haul that things haven't been started yet, and I'll bring those out right now. I think one of the things that we do in stitching is we like to dream, and part of it is dreaming, I'm going to get a chance to do this, or I'm going to get a chance to do that. So anyway, here's a Lizzie Kate that I hope to get done. And I think these days I'm kind of concentrating on doing smaller things, because once again, I don't have 150 years to stitch. And I realize that, and so I think I'd rather concentrate on some smaller things and get some finishes in. Here's another thing by Hands On Design that I'd like to get done as well. I probably will use a larger fabric than what they've denoted. Theirs is the Weeks Dye Work Gunmetal 32 count, and I'll probably use the Lugana just because it's so much easier for me to see. But I think that's really cute. That would make a really cute Christmas ornament. And this little pattern also comes with the little December button with it too, which makes it really very, very nice. Another FWIP that I would like to do is this one also by Hands On Design. They went together with just another button company, and it's called their Squareology. And so I really like what this has to say. It's really, really pretty, and I like it on, I like these chalk things. Obviously, there seems to be a pattern here. My favorite thing this year from Market was Hands On Designs. I liked her Christmas ornaments. I think I've got 6 of them, and I need to get the other ones. And I just thought the colors on these were just so pretty. So I have this as a FWIP, and I have this one, the Luminaria Lane, and I have the little church on the pedestal, and then I have the Noel. And like I said, I have another 2 patterns, but I don't know for sure where they are. And then last but not least, I also bought this when I was ordering the Hands On Design patterns from 123 Stitch. This one caught my eye, the Drawn Thread Botanical, and it's called Sweet Violet, and I just thought it was so pretty. So they call for the silks, but I'll probably do them in DMC. I'm just, at this point, I don't think I want to invest in a bunch of silks and so on. Well, folks, it's great to see you. I'm getting close to my 15 minutes, and I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and hopefully it won't be so long before I do my next video. Keep your needles flying, and have a good rest of the summer. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.